Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of I Married a Weeb podcast.
We did it. We weren't sure if this was going to be a one episode, realize we hate it, and call it a day, but no, we've had some fun with it. Thank you everyone who was there to listen and give us some critiques on the first episode, and I think we've already learned a little bit, I'd hope, but I'm not sure. But here we are with episodes 2, which is going to be...
We're calling it Net-flix It or Nix It, which we're going to be highlighting our favorite episodes that you can watch on Netflix, the king of streaming right now, I would say.
Yeah.
And yeah, ones that we would definitely recommend you putting in your queue.
Yeah, I think Netflix is going to be the easiest way for if people don't know where to get started with this anime stuff. Or honestly, just everyone's got Netflix, so it's just super accessible. But if you haven't watched anime, there's plenty of good stuff on Netflix, but I will give one huge warning. If you so much as search one anime on Netflix, your entire feed will be anime.
You'll forget what's really going on in the cinematic world because it'll all be anime.
We literally watched 2 shows probably. We used to have a normal queue and show you everything that was normal, but then now that we've watched a couple shows on there, all it is anime, which is not a bad thing.
I love going to your mom's house because when she fires up the Netflix, I get to see, ooh, I have to save that because my Netflix doesn't recommend anything besides. It's gotten a little better, but still, it's a lot of anime.
Yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, no, so it's a great kind of stepping stone, and we're just gonna go over some of the shows that we like on there. A lot of them are limited to a specific amount of seasons on there, so you might have to sprawl and go elsewhere to get the rest, but it's a good starting point.
Yeah, and they have a great variety of kind of a theme you might want to watch. They have funny ones, they have sentimental ones, action-packed ones. I mean, it depends on what you're into. We're kind of into a little bit of everything, so we're going to touch on a little bit of everything.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I guess just to start off, we could just kind of talk about some of the shows that we like on there that are, definite recommends. I did realize, first episode we did go back to a lot of the same exact shows whenever we were bringing up examples. Again, the nerves, but we've made a list here, and we got, there's a handful, so we've got plenty. One that we did mention in the other episode that is a must for anyone that can be found on Netflix is Hunter x Hunter or Hunter x Hunter, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, and because I know a lot of my friends might be listening that aren't familiar with anime, or maybe new friends that are listening that are dipping their toe in, I would like to give them a brief synopsis, very brief, on the overview, so they know if they want to add it to their...
No, of course. Yeah, I think we go through the shows and then we talk about, a little something there.
Sure. Do you want to talk about Hunter x Hunter since we've talked so much about it in this episode and last episode?
My gosh, I think we can both add to it because we both love it so much, but, it's a very charming show that just kind of... starts right away and doesn't really stop. If you don't like it by episode 3, I'd say you're probably just not going to like it because you kind of get the upfront brunt. Here's what it's about. You've got this young kid, Gon, who his father had left, and he's become the age that his father was when he left, and he wants to become what is known as a hunter. So it's someone who passes this prestigious test, and he's got to go take this test, but once you pass that test, you get access to all these places in the world, and there's all these just little bits and bobs that you get by becoming a hunter. Well, from episode 1, this kid is something special, and he decides it's time to go take the test.
Yeah, and the bromance between him and his soon-to-be best friend, Killua, is it's so heartwarming, and I know we've talked about doing an episode of scenes or shows that have made me cry, and this one always gets me at a couple parts.
Oh, absolutely. I've been close, but I pulled him back. Didn't want Danielle to know I'm too soft, of course, but that one you can get a solid 4 seasons out of it, right?
On Netflix, there are 4 seasons available. I didn't want to Google it to death to figure out how many quote unquote seasons there are. They break it down into 7 arcs spanning 148 episodes. So I don't know what Netflix considers their seasons versus the arcs. I didn't really go into that, but there's still quite a bit on there.
Yeah.
So it, at least gets you going, and then you can get a subscription to something else to finish it out.
Absolutely. And that's one that last episode we mentioned the Japanese voice actor for Leorio from Hunter x Hunter. And unfortunately, right after releasing that episode, we found out that he passed away. So it's very sad.
Yeah. Condolences to his family. He seemed pretty young, and there were a lot of
I think he was 55 or something like
that. He had
done. So just kind of crazy. So that's unfortunate, but he's one of the best voices in the show for sure. If you watch the Japanese one, which we are going to put our seal of recommendation on for that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't think we've ever even tried to watch it in English.
No, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it to our boys. If I were to do that, it'd just be, it's criminal. It's criminal. But so that's our first. Please watch it. Just do it for us. You don't know us, but just do it for you. Do. Never mind. Anyways, do it for us. Then we'll touch on a couple more shows before we get to another major one that we recommend.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Mentioned in the. I gotta stop referencing this first episode. I'm done referencing it, so you don't have to hear that anymore. Previously, we did mention 7 Deadly Sins, which is a Netflix original. I don't know what they're buying and what they're not buying. Netflix is admittedly going big on anime.
Oh yeah, they have a lot.
It's good on them. They're acquiring a lot of things. But 7 Deadly Sins, great show. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is one you will hear about. Gosh. It's so strange.
And this is one that we watch in English because it's easier for me to eat, and because admittedly we do watch a lot of anime while we're eating dinner or a snack or something, and it's easier for me to have it in English. Granted, there's not a ton of shows that we enjoy to watch in English, but this one is so corny, plot-wise.
But in such a purposeful way.
And so purposeful. The English is on point to just match its hilariousness. We watched a couple in Japanese, and it was one that we could bounce back and forth pretty easily.
Oh, absolutely. I think they were both very well done. I think a lot of people like the subbed version, but dubbed, yeah, it's just there's a certain corniness to it that, yes, the English voice acting is this weird paced thing, and it sounds so weird, but it goes so well because they're just, they're announcing what they're going to be doing, and you don't even have to actually watch it, I don't think. I think you can literally just go in the other room and they will tell you exactly what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But, not related in any way, shape, or form, but it might be one of my favorite end credit songs of all time.
Oh, well, we finally got in on the notorious meme.
Yeah, there's the To Be Continued meme, which you may or may not have seen, but definitely comes from JoJo. A lot of things do, I guess. There's a lot of references back to JoJo. But let's keep the old train going. You want to just why don't you spur off a couple?
So I put on here Death Note, which is good. Mm-hmm. It's a young high schooler who out of the sky gets a death notebook from a Shinigami god.
Shinigami, yeah.
And you can write the name of someone in there, and they die within a certain amount of time.
You get to actually say when, how, who. Mm-hmm.
Well, if you don't specify, then it'll do
just
it.
Happen.
Yeah. But he's a very righteous person at the beginning, and you just see how depraved he gets. It's very interesting.
It's the Breaking Bad of anime.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, he's the Walter White. You're like, oh, look at this guy. He's great.
Yeah, he wants to use it for good, where he's only killing criminals, and you just see how that just spirals out of control.
The kid's a psychopath. Well, let's not spoil anything. Things maybe turn a little bit less. You don't love him as much.
Yeah.
That's kind of the key on that one.
Some other ones, One Punch Man, which we mentioned before. Great if you want to get into anime or you're a seasoned veteran. I think it's awesome.
Generally, I just tell people, Bill Burr, the comedian, even likes this. And that's a guy who I could not see liking a cartoon, but he likes One Punch. If you haven't checked out his clip describing it, I would look that up. But it's such a genuinely good show that even if you're opposed to cartoons, there's no way to not like this. It's it's got so much good elements to it that I think are great.
Yeah.
Which I said we were going to kind of go through a couple and only explain the ones that are favorites, but I'm realizing we just like a lot of what we watch. So, One Punch Man, take it away. What is that?
So One Punch Man, literally, just as it's titled, it is a man who works really hard. He wants to be a superhero, and he literally destroys anything he fights in one punch.
Which then leads to one of the best dynamics of a show I've ever seen. Is he's like Superman. He's so powerful, but the problem is now he's a little depressed because he can't find a good fight. And all you want this poor guy to do is find an awesome fight, but he is just too strong for his own good. He actually trained so hard that he lost all of the hair on his head, which at some point in my life, I'm going to probably use that as my excuse. But, yeah, great show. I don't want to, of course, give too much to all of these, but, you know, we do have a pretty big list.
I was going to say,
Netflix is crushing it.
And you know what? We're going to kind of touch on things we haven't watched but are on there that I've heard great things about. But all of the ones that we have watched that we're recommending to you right now, I mean, all of these, 10 out of 10. There's not a single one on this. Well, there's a couple getting towards the end that I'd kind of say, leave those at the end if you're bored on a Saturday, want to maybe crush a quick 12 or 26 episodes. Because some of these are kind of long, but some of them are quick breezes. And a lot of them are, well, a couple of them are ongoing.
Well, what I am also realizing is we've created a list of what we love. I don't know where the Nixit is going to come into play. I think we just generally...
Well, I think that's left up to the viewing audience.
That's true. Let us know if any of these you don't like. We'll be flabbergasted. But...
Oh, I always love to hear what people don't like to see how crazy am I or how crazy are you?
So freaking true. It's so freaking true.
So keep on chugging along. We got Attack on Titan on the list.
Oh my gosh, another one. See, and I'm sorry, listeners, it's just going to end up saying, here, we'll give you the formula for the podcast. Insert anime name here. Cue me and her going, oh my gosh. And then insert that name one more time. That's it. I do genuinely, granted it's what we like. This list is incredible.
It is. So, just so you all know, we're not steering you wrong. So...
Yeah, you'll like these, or else. And that's not a threat legally. That is just me saying, you'd have to be crazy.
Yeah.
You'd have to be absolutely bonkers. But Attack on Titan, yeah, what's the premise on that one?
Oh, giant man-eating people gonna ravage the earth, so...
Oh, Titans, you say?
Titans.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beautiful day. Everyone's just minding their business, and from episode 1, buckle up.
Buckle up, baby, because it is a wild ride.
Holy mother of mercy. Honestly, I love everything, but that's one of the best opening episodes.
Oh.
It doesn't wait. It doesn't say, hey, how are you? This is my name. It kisses you on the lips and says, we're dating now. There was not one point in that show. It eventually kind of will boil down to there's some dry spots, but the first season?
Well, it knows how to keep the viewer and a longtime watcher. You know, as you just mentioned, it ebbs and flows with the action, but it knows. When we just recently watched, what was that, season 4 they just came out with?
Yeah.
Or
maybe it was season 3, part 2.
Yeah.
This anime stuff.
Yeah, we were back in it to win it. And, you know, that's good.
Absolutely. And that's another quick sidebar. I know, but I don't feel like this is as sporadic of a spaz out to a different thing like I'm usually doing. I will say, anime... If you guys watched Game of Thrones, all you normie people, right? Oh, I watched Game of Thrones. Wow, love it.
Hey, inclusion. We're one of those normies.
Yes, we did. We did watch those. We're as basic as anyone else. But every time that you'd end an episode of Game of Thrones, you're like, wow, what a cliffhanger. Absolutely not. Anime has perfected the cliffhanger and is unforgiving. There's times that there's some shows that just get into a rhythm of first half of it, it'll resolve whatever that cliffhanger was within 5 minutes, and then you can kind of go autopilot, and then the last 5 minutes, buckle up again. Buckle up, word of the day, by the way. It's going to give you a cliffhanger that'll exhilarate you. So sometimes there's shows you want to actually wait and let a couple episodes kind of
Oh,
pile up.
and they do the dirty cliffhangers when you're finishing the episode and then you realize it's the season finale. And then you have to wait 6 months or a year depending on when they release their next season. You have to wait. And sometimes there's manga floating around and people are doing fan art and snippets, and then you might get a spoiler. And then you are not happy.
That's just it. I mean, we could, in those instances, you could say, well, fine, I'll jump to the manga, which, by the way, if you don't know what manga is, it's Japanese comics, pretty much, is what I would boil it down to. Those are always ahead of the shows, of course. So you could go to those, but the effort, I don't know if we're quite weeb enough for that effort just yet. But
and I don't know how... I don't want to buy all those. I would love to own them, but I don't... Who has the space? And Lord bless you if you do, but I don't have... I would love to have the space, but I don't. And I don't think my local library stocks the newest issue of Demon Slayer, let's say, which is what's being spoiled for me right now.
It's time to go talk to Gretchen at our local library and tell her, listen here, it's Demon Slayer time. And then we get kicked out. Anyways. So that was Attack on Titan, plus a little bit of a, getting off the old curve there. But next show up for me was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which we have mentioned before. Another hooey show right there, I'll tell you.
Yeah, two boys fooling with something they shouldn't be, and they gotta fix their problems.
That sounds a little... I mean, they're dealing with some magic they shouldn't be using.
Yeah, they really shouldn't have been.
And some traumatic stuff. That's another episode 1. You're gonna get the premise really quick. Honestly, a lot of these, just give it an episode. If you're not into it after an episode, you're wrong. But you can go elsewhere if you'd like.
Yeah,
you shouldn't, but whatever. Couple more. Evangelion mentioned, which is a staple of anime. It's a little confusing. It's a big mech show about basically the world's gone through some stuff. And now there's these things called angels, these big kaiju, these big monsters are coming to Earth, and what do? We put children in robots and make them do the fighting. Which, ultimately a crazy premise, but that show gets a little whack near the end. So that one, just enjoy the ride. You don't have to delve too deep into what am I watching. Just enjoy it. It's one of the best opening songs of an anime. One of the best. Credit. It's just good. Yeah. So I recommend that one.
And because, Tom already harped on it. Don't want to recall the episode 1, but this is one where we might not recommend you watching it in English because it's so. If you want to give it a go, albeit Lord bless you.
Yeah, this is one that, yes, it's on our Net-flix list, but don't. Go up to your settings. Go up to your settings. Japanese for the voice, English for the subtitles, so you can actually read what the heck's going on. You will get a very bad impression of the show if you go by the English dub, and it's nothing to the people. Good on them. If someone came to me and said, hey, do you want to voice someone in Evangelion? I'd be like, the fans are going to want to rip me to shreds, but let's handle it. Let's get in there. And then...
And you were just telling me that not only that the show is on there, but the movies that complete the show are on there too.
Yeah, that's one of those series that the ending of that show is technically 2 movies. They're going through and reworking the whole thing, but yeah, 2 movies, which can be found on Netflix as well. So that's one that you can get the full circle and watch the whole show on Netflix, which is good.
So next on my list, one of my favorites when Tom asks me what quick 20-minute episode do I want to watch while we're eating dinner or sitting down, we got time to kill, The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. It is hilarity ensued in every episode. It's a kid who is a psychic, can control things with his mind, read minds, go to different places of the world in the blink of an eye. It's
time
so
travel.
funny.
Yeah, he can.
And this is one that we watch in English, and we finally got to a point where we caught up. We finished, and I was like, it's over? No. They are not done releasing all of the English yet, and now it's into Japanese, and it's not the same for me because this voice of Psyche is so deadpan and perfect. It's great.
We could probably learn to love the Japanese, but again, it's one of our dinner time animes that we don't want to necessarily read, which we did say you get used to it, which you do. But if you got some rigatonian in front of you, which we got a lot of pasta over here, I'm too busy shoveling. I can't be reading and shoveling. Yeah. And then I'm getting things, some sauce on the couch, and then Danielle murders me, and then you guys will never get an episode 3. I know. How devastating. But that's a show that season 1, witty, it's fun. It's a wacky one. Yeah, it's nothing to take too serious.
Yeah, it's a fun, lighthearted one. We have a lot of anime on here that is so deep, and you really got to pay attention. This is one that you kind of just sit back and just relax and enjoy what it is.
That's right. And I know you see what's next on the list, and I am not going to take that from you because this is your show.
Yeah, next on the list, unfortunately, there are only 2 seasons of it on Netflix, so of course I had to go and buy the complete season set and the movie to finish it all out.
I think it's a series. I don't think it's a movie that ends it. I think it's like an extra little series. Don't quote me on it, but I think it was like there's episodes, I think.
Oh, I don't know, but it's Inuyasha. Which, mind-blowing, we've been doing Japanese, and...
I never really questioned it growing up. Yeah. What is Inuyasha? Why is it named that?
Inuyasha, so Inuyasha is a half demon, half human, and he's part dog. So Inu is dog in Japanese, and Yasha is half. So he's half dog.
He's half dog. It's right there. Right in your face. They put it right there, and you just don't know it.
And I just had the biggest, when I figured that out, I was like, wow, I am so stupid.
Well, I felt worse because I had been watching that at 2 a.m. on Adult Swim back in my high school days, and I was like, man, I love this show. And I guess you don't question it. It is a neat little tidbit, though. But quick premise of that show, and then...
Kagome she lives in the present-day human world, and she lives on a plot of land that has a shrine. Her grandfather, I don't know, does shriney stuff, I guess. I don't really know what you call it. He does, incantation.
Like a proper weeb. You just say I don't know. He does shriney stuff.
But, I don't really know. They never really say what he does. He put these, seal stickers on stuff. They live on a place that has a shrine. She falls through a well, and she's in feudal Japan, and she realizes she is the incarnation of
a
priestess that was living 30 or so years before and was in love
30 years before Inuyasha. The time she went to, because she went, as you said, in feudal Japan, so 30 years before she arrived there.
Yes
So not 30 years before her present time.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
In feudal Japan. Yeah, feudal so this Japan. Is way back, So
we're on the same page. I'm just making sure we're all on the same page. Copacetic.
But it's a fun little show. I watch it while I'm crocheting because I don't really need to pay attention. And I'm always in it for the love story, so I'm just waiting for Inuyasha and Kagome to mwah.
And that's honestly why I knew she'd like it. Get her a show with a love triangle or even just a love story. It's a done deal. She's into it. But that's for another episode. We'll talk lovey-dovey shows or something like that. Then maybe that'll be a solo episode for you. I'm just kidding. I like those too, I guess. But,
so I don't think we really need to explain too much the last few on the list.
Yeah, sure.
Except the one that's highlighted.
Yeah. Devilman Crybaby is another one on Netflix that... It is a hard...
Oh, it's hard. In more ways than one.
Get out of here with that action. Who are you? It's a hard one to say, hey, watch this, because it has got some gratuitous violence.
It's assaulting.
Nudity. It is the animation style is a little jarring. It's wild. I don't know if I'm overusing that word. It's insane. But at the end of it, you're like, I think that was good? No, I know that it was good. The soundtrack is killer.
I know that it's good because I have watched it more than twice.
True, but man, when you tell people you watch it and you know they're going to check out an episode, you say, remember, you didn't hear it from me. You found that by yourself, and don't you dare tell anyone I told you about this.
Oh, man.
Basically, quick 2-sentence. Kid is friends with this other kid. This kid's not very nice and turns his friend into a demon.
Which,
by going to a rave with drugs and, dare I say, couple of boobs.
Yeah. Well, you have to hit on the point that Devilman is that premise of Devilman is a Japanese. It's famous.
Yes, it's a thing.
Not this adaptation. I can't say.
Well, there's been so many adaptations, but anyway, so that's just a quick rundown. We can't tell you to go watch that right now because it will scare you away from anime. Yeah. You won't. Go ahead. I saw something. You were gonna say something. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, if you're new, do not make that your first one. And if you do, I am so sorry because I know some of my friends are listening and they don't watch anime. Please don't watch this one first.
Or do. Just we didn't tell you, okay? Anyway, sorry, we're getting a little. Whew. All right.
Now to bring it back from
the opposite end of the spectrum, we have one that is just pure lunacy, and our next show we're going to talk about is Teasing Master Takagi-San, which one of my friends absolutely loves. We are getting him into anime, and he has already taken to this show more than you could ever expect. This is one of the most adorable shows.
So cute.
That I believe I've ever seen, and yeah, I can say adorable. We're talking anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everything in anime, I think. Even parts of Devilman Crybaby, there could be some adorable stuff, but not like true. No. Not like Takagi-san, which is Takagi. Sorry.
Hey, you're fine. I just want to make sure we're copacetic.
Which is a pair of middle schoolers, and there's a little boy in it, and he is just trying to get the one up on his schoolmate.
It brings you back. Ooh, did you hear me? I said, like, that was odd. I'm sorry, everyone. It brings you back to that middle school. Not necessarily that you're, like, it just brings you back. It's like a time capsule because as a guy during those times, it's still the cootie time, right? You're like, girls are the enemy here. But girls are starting to kind of understand, like, no, I kind of like, boys are kind of cool or whatever. And she always has this one up. She's so much smarter, as women generally are at that point in that life. We all equal out because we're all humans and we're all equal, am I right?
Yes.
Daggers. I don't even know why you're mad at me.
Well, no, I'm thinking of the perfect comeback when you said that women are superior at that point. I think we're always a little mentally superior.
Fair. And
at least in strategic things like that. I mean, she always has an ace in her pocket. When he thinks he's got her in the tease, she does whips it. And
do not hate me for saying that, everyone listening. What I'm saying is, you know what? Yeah. Okay, fine. Danielle wins that one. That's a round. I'm not even getting into it.
Insert.
I might edit that in. Probably not.
Or maybe like a boxing ring dinger. Ding, ding.
It's above my pay grade currently. So, guys, that's all you're getting. That was it. All right. So we're getting kind of near the end of our little time slots. We're going to let's describe this show, and then we'll go through a couple more mentions, and then we can wrap it up.
Of which show?
Takagi. Oh, you did?
Yeah,
am I not listening?
Yeah, I don't listen, guys. I'm married to him, but it doesn't mean I can control him. So the last couple ones on the list are things that we've dabbled in but haven't watched in completion, but are also on Netflix. Gurren Lagann, Violet Evergarden, Grand Blue Fantasy, which great side story when we're done with this, and Kill la Kill.
Yeah.
Have also heard great things and have not watched any of The Devil is a Part-Timer, the Fate series. There's a couple on Netflix.
Yes, and the Fate series is a deep web. Like, I guess that you want to try and follow that timeline, not happening. But what I will say about Fate Stay Night is that the one that every time Netflix will do the auto preview of a show, and for some reason you go to Fate Stay Night. Do this now. You don't even have to watch the show. Hover over Fate Stay Night. All you see is just this adorable little anime girl,
and cutie.
She basically summons this berserker, but all I can get in my head is Berserker.
Oh, she's so cute.
It's a done deal.
We will just scroll over that a couple times just to watch that one part because she is so cute, and she just says it in the sweetest little voice.
Which it's a scary thing, so it's definitely there's some things at play here. She's adorable, but she's summoning this monster. Anyways, I'm over it. Another three that again we have not watched but have heard phenomenal things is Cells at Work, which is kind of the Osmosis Jones of anime. Fairy Tail, which, again, that's a lot of episodes, though. So
it is.
That's one of those. And then Your Lie in April. I do want to do the ones that we have kind of dabbled on. Let's do at least like a quick synopsis. Gurren Lagann. It's a mech show that is kind of a joke upon itself. It is taking all these tropes that you'll see from all these mecha animes, like the if you can dream it, you can do it. Well, this show pokes fun at that in the best way I've ever seen. One of the main character girls,
Wowza.
Her outfit's a little crazy.
She's got some assets, and she's showing them off.
She is. And Danielle said that, not me. Violet Evergarden, very much more of a serious tone.
Yeah, I started watching it, and the English voice actress, I'm sorry, I'm not into it. She's done a couple other things, and it was, I'm going to try and watch it, I think, in Japanese. It was a little too slow pacing for me. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't even, I've watched probably 6 or 7 episodes, and I still really don't know.
I don't even remember it.
Well,
That's a Nyx, dude.
Yeah. But I think it depends on what kind of theme you're looking for.
True. We do have friends that very much enjoy it.
And that's why I wanted to watch it, and that's why I'm saying it right here. I'm going to give it another go.
All right.
And because I've heard it was very good.
It's physical evidence, too. That's
maybe
nice.
This is one that I can't sit and crochet to. I got to sit and actually watch it.
Probably. I'll handle Kill la Kill. Kill la Kill, same guy who made Gurren Lagann. But it's more so a young girl in school. I think it's a new school she goes to. Finds out her father made this uniform that transforms her and they can fight. Wacky, crazy, not to be taken serious.
And don't watch with the blinds open.
Yes, very scantily clad. Again, that's the thing with anime. Shut the blinds. Even though you know what's going on, people don't, and people talk. Okay? Talking to some couple specific people here. To round it off, we've got Grand Blue Fantasy, the animation, which is a show based on an app that was very popular over in Japan. And day one, the moment I saw the art style for the show, fell in love with it. Even if not at a show level, but an art level. I'm very fond of it, so I'm very biased. So in that case, I guess I'll just... The premise is, it's a good adventure about saving this one girl. I'm just going to keep it super loose so we can kind of get into you just explained, kind of little tidbits about how we ended up finding that while we were in Japan.
Oh yeah, it was random. We visited Japan last May and, stopped into a 7-Eleven to get some treats. Went in the candy aisle and Tom picked up it was candy, but there were bookmarks in it. Which
it's a little obtuse of a subject because basically what they do in Japan is to get these either trading cards, art cards, little knickknacks, they will put a piece of candy in it so that, or like a piece of gum, like this little piece of gum or whatever.
Like literally a chiclet.
Yeah, like pretty much just a single piece of gum, and they will put that in the package so that now it's technically a candy product, so they can put it in the candy aisle for young, impressionable children.
Yeah.
Which was me in this instance.
But, we opened up the pack, and it had 4, I think, bookmark-sized art cards of the characters from Grand Blue.
Gorgeous.
And they're beautiful. They have a little bit of holographic on it. Not the shine, like not sparkly, but shiny. So pretty. And the thing we did the whole rest of the trip when we were there, if we saw 7-Eleven, we were going in there and clearing them out. And unfortunately, we could not find them except in 2 7-Elevens. But we got, I think, a majority. No, it was
just the one.
Oh, it was just the one?
Yeah, it was just the one. Basically, I loved it so much. We got to the hotel room. I opened it up. I'm like, these are awesome. Okay, well, back down to 7-Eleven, and I bought the rest that were in the box. Which no, I'm not a psycho. I think there was 4.
There was.
I think there was 4
and
extra.
I think the one you bought previously was one of the 4.
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I wanted more, and so we made that. Yeah, it was the mission. We're walking around. We go to Kyoto. We go to Osaka, and I'm like, you know what? We couldn't find any more in Tokyo. This might be it. No, not a lick of those anywhere to be found, which was sad. But I did get a good collection. I'm very happy we got them.
And we found that awesome art book at that store.
It's just so expensive, but we got to stop talking like that. I think it's a good art book to have, and you're right, Danielle. I'm going to take this as permission to buy that next time we go to our local Japanese market. This has just evolved into story time, but I think that's a nice little tidbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but quick last little
and this is more of like a blip on the radar. This is the tip
of the iceberg. Yeah, I mean, Netflix, there's more. You can find some great stuff. If you find good stuff, just tell us. We'll watch it. That's when we're eating the rigatoni. It's anime time, so. We've got a couple movies. As mentioned, there is the Evangelion movies to round out the series that is on Netflix. We've got A Silent Voice, which is a feature-length anime movie that is... It's very feeling-inducing. Kind of tackles the subject of bullying a little bit. Just watch a trailer. Netflix has a trailer of that. Very good movie. Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. Now, Mobile Suit Gundam, very big staple as far as the mecha anime is concerned. Well, this is just basically I would just call it a mini-series, kind of. It's a couple I think it's like 6 or 7. Oh, forgive me. Joe will tell us when we have him on, but 6 or 7 episodes are about 40, 50 minutes, somewhere in there. So you can take them each as little movies if you'd like, but overall, great series. You can get through it quick. And if you have a VPN, which we don't currently, there is word on the street that a very, very good way to get into anime is Studio Ghibli films, which is basically the Disney of Japan. These are still some of my favorite movies I've ever seen. You got Spirited Away, Arrietty, Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro. What am I acting like I've never heard of that movie?
Princess Mononoke.
It's these very charming movies, very easily digestible, and a very good gateway into anime. So if you have a VPN and Netflix, set it to Europe or, something like that. I'm not telling you to, but you should. And then supposedly you can find a lot of the Ghibli movies on Netflix that way. They've kind of shafted us. Spirited Away is going to be my go to that one first. My Neighbor Totoro, that's up there as well. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of our quick overview. Well, not quick, but that's our overview of Netflix. There's a lot of good stuff on there. Apparently not too much to nix.
I mean, again, I would like to... We do have an Instagram. I married a
Weeb. And a Twitter as well.
A Twitter. So if there's something that you feel like you would nix off this list, or you've watched and said, Tom and Dale, I don't know what you're talking about. 7 Deadly Sins sucks. Or... JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is too bizarre for me. Then I want you to let us know.
Or Devilman Crybaby. It's not weird at all. I watch it with my grandmother. What is wrong with you? Please don't do that. Are you out of your mind? Unbelievable. But yeah, that's, Oh my gosh.
I just pointed at the list and there is
one
more
show
that we didn't... Oh, man.
Go ahead. Let's rip it. Sword Art Online. You've heard about it, okay? Everyone out there's heard about it. What is it, Danielle?
Sword Art Online. So it's the point of technology where you can get into a VR rig. You put on this helmet and you are transported into this world that you can play VR. And guess what, people? You were just sucked into this game and you can't log out.
You can't log out, and on top of that, if you try to, or if someone tries to take your headset out in the real world, that thing is connected to your brain and it will shock your brain, killing you. So there is no way out of this game without dying unless you beat it.
Well, you can die in game and you die in
which will
life.
Also, yeah, that's one of the ways also. So yeah, if you die in game, it's sending that pulse to your brain and
yeah, so
Dunzo.
you're following Kirito and Asuna, which, best girl, and one of my favorites is Kirito for best boy. You follow them around on their crazy adventure, trying to get the heck out of here, and not just themselves, but Kirito's mission is to, maybe not at the beginning, I think he was kind of, whatever, because, and he wants to figure this out so everyone can leave this game.
Yeah, he's your hero. He's the guy who as much as he wants out, he also wants to get everyone out. Because, I mean, you can see in one of the opening scenes, you got a lot of people. There's even young children playing the game. It's a crazy moment when you realize that they can't get out. Crazy show. I highly recommend that one. A lot of divisiveness with that. A lot of people think it kind of goes crazy at some point in the season. Then the different seasons kind of get a little crazy. But we thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah, we watch up to Gun Gale.
Yeah, Gun Gale Online, it turns a little odd.
Yeah, we've started it. We never finished it, and then we got into the season after that, and we...
Alicization or something like that.
Wow.
It's back, baby.
Shwoof.
Shwoof. That's a shwoof. That's a verified shwoofies. So, yeah, that's good. Thanks for catching that. It's highlighted on the sheet. I'm just blind.
No, I think we kind of bounced around a little bit, so we missed it.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that again. Sorry, everyone. But that's it for today. Go to Netflix, watch one of these. Do yourself a favor. It's the weekend. Happy Friday, everyone.
Yeah. Or when you're listening to this, hopefully it is still the weekend. But
just do it today. No excuses. If you're eating we've eaten dinner and watched. Just do it. All right? No pressure.
Have a lazy day. Come home from work. Put on the Netflix. Binge a show. All 146 episodes.
Yeah. Let's handle it.
Or you can do an easy 26. I mean, they're 20 minutes long.
Some series are only 16 episodes and things of that nature. So there's shows, there's options. We can only, you can lead a wonderful listener to water, but you can't make them drink it. So it's up to you guys now. Thank you so much for listening. This has been the... Oh, you're clapping.
Do we want to announce our watch-a-thon? Watch with us?
That's true. Yeah, go for it.
So, very quickly, because this episode is already longer than Tom ever wanted to dream it would be this long of, but we are going to do a Watch With Us Wednesdays. Not really sure how our episode formatting is going to be, but maybe bi-weekly we're going to do and announce. It might be a movie. It might be a series. But every other Wednesday.
Could be a particular episode.
Yeah.
I mean, the sky's the limit here. We also have our Twitter that once we actually get a couple followers in there, we can start announcing it on there. But we're going to try making it a Wednesday thing to announce something to watch. And then by that Wednesday, we'll just kind of talk over it. And, that'll be that.
Yeah, we'll release the episodes on Wednesday. And hopefully you'll have watched it by then. If you've already watched it, great. If you want to watch it and listen to us talk about it, awesome. So what we're planning on doing for this coming Wednesday is we're going to watch the amazing movie Akira.
Yes. That's Akira. So it's a very, very influential sci-fi movie that has changed. It's not even just for cartoons, none of that. It's a movie that has just changed cinema at that point in time when it came out. There's been a lot of homages to it and a lot of different things, but check out a trailer. Check it out. It's a little bit confusing because the movie itself was the original material that they were calling from. They didn't really use all of it for the movie, so there's kind of a point in the movie you're like, wait, what? But again, it's one of those things that's totally worth it.
And it's something you have to have in your viewing repertoire.
Oh yeah, I'd say it's movie history for sure.
Yeah. Even if you weren't into anime, in cinema in general, you have to watch it. So yeah.
Please watch it.
And that's what we'll be discussing for Wednesday's episode.
Yep. But thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Thanks so much.
You guys have a great night, all right? Bye.